Join me every Tuesday for fun and games and play for cash. That's right. Sylvia Mint, the fun word guessing game is back and you can come aboard and play. It's simple. Just email us your name and contact information and you are in there, baby. Yeah.
Hey, this is Smooth Tim and Larry E, and thank you for joining us on another Thursday of Tim's TidBits. How you doing?
Is it Thursday?
Thursday, Wednesday, hump day. You know what? I got so many shows going on. This Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This is a hump day. So happy hump day with Smooth Tim and Larry E.
I forgot to pay a bill. I'm like, Thursday,
Thursday, my bills are due. Tim, I gotta go. We're done.
Click.
What's happening down in the Big D?
Oh man, nothing. Same old. Yeah, nothing big. It cleared up weather-wise. Now it's windy, so ain't no telling. I guess it's tornado season, so.
That makes things exciting. Tornado season down in Texas is always fun.
Oh yeah, especially in Oklahoma when they wiped out a whole neighborhood of mobile homes.
Well, hopefully that ain't gonna happen. We got enough shit going on without all kinds of weather events, huh?
Well, I want to say this though. They wiped out. Now this is what happened. The tornado wiped out a whole neighborhood of mobile homes, and it caused that area $200 worth of damage. $200 worth of damage.
$200. Wiped
out a whole neighborhood, mobile homes. Not 200 million or 200,000, $200.
So they didn't get any FEMA money, nothing.
No, they owed money after the debris was in the street. Okay, y'all gotta clean that up. Y'all owe us.
No FEMA money for them. All right,
no, y'all owe us. Y'all put degree in the street owe us. I can't get the word. That's what I get for messing with people. Okay, I'm ready, Tim. Sorry.
Hey, man. Anyhow, I was gonna get a little bit into, and we talked about this before about how there's that guy that used to be with NSA that released that stuff about different types of software and crap they could put onto your phone, onto your home computer, and just basically siphon your information. And I found it interesting the other day. In fact, I seen a little video on what people are doing with these Apple, what do they call it? iTags.
Yeah,
Apple iTags. And basically, I think you're supposed to be using it to help find your computer, help follow, and find your lost items. But apparently, this shit's being abused. And let's get a little video on it. Come back and talk about the Apple iPods and what the hell is going on with that. Give me just a second, buddy. Here we are.
Apple AirTags are $30 Bluetooth doodads that are supposed to help you find lost items with your phone. But someone could also use one to stalk you by hiding it in your backpack, car, or bike. If someone plants an AirTag on you, it's up to your ear or your iPhone to find it. Let me show you what that would look like for a victim. First, an AirTag will start to beep when it's moved and its owner's iPhone is nowhere around, but only after 3 days. If there's an AirTag planted in your bag, you'd hear it beeping in a quiet room, but it's not particularly loud, and muffling it is as easy as this. 3 days also allows for a lot of stalking. Apple says it might change the time before it beeps in the future. And there's another stalking warning built into AirTags, but it only works if you own an iPhone 6S or newer. If your iPhone notices an AirTag moving around with you that doesn't belong to you, it will pop up an alert when it thinks you get home. Once you know that, then you can use your Find My app to make the hidden AirTag start beeping, though this didn't always work for me, and the Find My app doesn't help you locate an unwanted hidden tag. Beware, there's also a setting someone could try to change on your phone that prevents you from getting any safety alerts.
Is that amazing?
Yeah, I had one problem though, Tim. Who the heck is gonna stalk this guy? He's like,
You
yeah,
gotta stalk him. Yeah, well,
who's gonna stalk? Please,
he
bro.
could be a
Not you.
CEO. I mean, or he could be like an Elon Musk type of guy.
Yeah.
Take
If
me
you had
to-
like a
take me to
business, and
space
you
or
want to
else.
yeah, if you had a business, you want to keep tapping your employees, hit them with the tag. You
But
be like,
no.
Leon, where you at?
The
In the
actual
restroom.
what caught my eye on Larry was actually a woman. She got an alert on her phone just as they would talk about the iPhone 8 or whatever it is or newer. It alerts you, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she got this alert, so she took it into a dealership and they did all kinds of search to find this thing, but it's still there. They could not find it because there's so many places to hide it. How do you know? And and it could be an ex-wife. It could be a love from a distance type of rejection. Who the hell knows what these people are thinking? Why would you stalk anybody to begin with?
I'm like, who has time anyway? You really gotta have time in to stalk them. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of
But
work.
there's a lot of weirdos out there too. People
Yeah,
that can't.
that's a
let
good
go of
idea.
shit.
It'll be a good idea. Like maybe a teenage kid. You're prying into their life or something like that. Or if you're losing your phone or luggage, yeah. But you know how we are as people. We always find other ways to use something that doesn't supposed to be used the right way. So I'm not even shocked. I'm surprised that it wasn't like a.
Well,
They
people
didn't
need to
have
be
a-
aware that hey, there's this little device out there that costs what they say, $30, $35.
Hey, that's cheap stocking right there, man. You can,
Little stocking stuffer for you.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, sticking in the bottom of a shoe insole or something. You were running, okay.
But you know what else then, besides that, and I'm like, that if that isn't as intrusive as hell, they were I've seen another show that they were covering a little bit about what people are doing with like Ring doorbells. Everybody's got these rings, right?
I have one.
I mean, and I didn't realize the vulnerability of those things. Hey, just a second. Let's go into that video. And there's a real interesting thing that can happen to you if you're not careful with your Ring devices.
Well, I can see who's in the driveway and who's coming up the front walk and who's at the front door.
Gloria Bevan has a Ring camera system, a smart TV, and a wireless printer. She's worried about just how exposed she is.
I don't like that you have access to what I'm doing in my house.
So we started with one of Gloria's neighbors.
We are in an undisclosed location in our mobile unit. Our ethical hacker, Rob, is going to show us how it's done.
A lot of these things can be done pretty easily.
Rob Simon has been hacking for years. He tells us a simple tossed out light bulb can trash your personal accounts.
We can pull the internals of that out, and then we can look for the flash memory chips that are on there that store all of the information as well as the settings for connecting to your network.
He extracted potentially damaging info like passwords, all with the help of this.
You can get this anywhere?
Yeah, you can get this anywhere. This is just a cheap device. It costs about $15.
While sitting in our van, Rob was able to gain control of this thermostat using just commonly known passwords. Not only can he create problems with freezing out the home, but it's a high-tech way of casing the house using the calendar on the thermostat.
Maybe he's scheduling a lower temperature than you would typically use for, say, about a week. It might be possible that the user is going to be on vacation during that time, so they might not be home.
Funny thing is, the house Rob just hacked belongs to Alex Hammerstone from TrustedSec, who helped us with this demonstration.
If you use the same password across multiple sites, your account is only going to be as secure as the weakest site where you use it.
Problems are prevalent. Data breaches are happening all the time, affecting millions of people's private info.
People are paying to get this type of information. There's always going to be people out there that are going to be doing it.
Plus, a quick Google search shows hacking courses popping up in under a second. We found hackers' presentations on YouTube.
Hack all the things, 20 devices in 45 minutes.
It's such a massive worldwide issue that hits the U.S. hard.
It's like leaving your blinds open and a bunch of people looking in at you.
A previous 5 on Your Side investigation found a website that's hacked into thousands of cameras online for anyone to see. Medical procedures, a naked man, and children. Plenty of them in schools, in daycares, and at home. We found a local victim whose home camera was hacked.
Should have been very much more diligent about realizing it's a window into your home.
With so many internet-connected products out there, even microwaves, vacuums, and door locks, the experts say it's time for all of us, not just Gloria,
Especially for older people like me, we don't really know what we're doing with this stuff.
to use protections like multi-layer authentication, where a text can tell if it's you in an account,
That's going to help prevent someone from gaining access, even if they did have your credentials.
and pay a lot more attention to our internet-connected products.
People oftentimes think of their technology devices like a toaster, which you buy, you use for 20 years, and then you get another one. But really, it's a lot more like a car. It requires updates and maintenance.
What do you think?
There's two things that bothered me.
What is
An
that?
ethical hacker, and then they can only pull up footage of a naked man. Really?
Well, but there's so many people that love to have these smart devices in their home.
You know what,
Yeah,
Tim?
I mean, you get
passwords
it from freaking refrigerators to washer dryers to your thermostat to freaking everything in the home. They almost probably,
it's all digital.
it can be all digital smart devices. And, if you are not careful, if you are not,
Well, you know what?
if you are not, ensuring your own
Right.
privacy, well, the
Well,
world
it makes life easier, and it's part of evolution. And that password thing we have sucks anyway. I hate having to change my password over and over. You can't use the same one. Passwords suck. But if you're going to go smart, you have to have at least some kind of
some type of layer of
memory
security.
list, some kind of list of this password. These are my top passwords. Switch them out, change them out. And I think some sites you can use the same password as long as you put like an extra letter or a number or something on it. So you got to be smart about it, because people that's what we do. The ethical hacker, I guess he was being ethical at the time, but when he's not with them, he's probably hacking everybody else's crap. So
Hey, well, there's money involved in that kind of
yeah,
the
and that light bulb was
information
interesting.
game.
Yeah, and the light bulb was interesting because I never thought of that. That you set your timer with your thermostat, your light bulb, it says on and off or whatever. That's crazy.
Yeah, and now that's embedded into that device that you threw out.
And then a little small thing he got for $30 to put the wires into it and everything. Ingenious. This guy's incredible.
Yeah, and because that's what it is. To link up to your system, that device out there has to know, information about your system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, smart device. So it can be addressed. So there can be a conversation going back and forth with control, wherever that might be. So yeah, once you discard that information's in the chip.
Yeah. I think the only way you can actually secure your property and homes better is go hardwire. Just hardwire it and put it to some kind of device.
When people
Like
are
we use
lazy, that's never going to happen.
I know. They don't want to pay the money.
I kind of
Bam, bam,
I
put it
can,
up.
I can get on my iPhone and start my coffee maker, and
I know, man, but
This
that's so
is great.
convenient, and that's so technology, technical, and so American. That's so whatever country you're from, you want to use those things. You want to make your life easier, and it just makes it easier. I know, man. It just makes your life easier. I'm down for technology, but when they start abusing it, which they will, I'm not down for it. Then.
Yep,
Yeah,
and
they
that's
will.
what because I think I need to make people appreciate the vulnerabilities, and I think we discussed it in the past. We discussed it before. It's not the first time. Excuse me.
Yeah,
people just
but
think. Use your
you know
needle.
what? People get so lazy they don't even want to change their password. Something simple as a password.
Well,
can
they
change up.
have software that can auto generate encrypted password for you, and it keeps it stored. And as long as you got a firewall built up in front of your systems that at least make it semi difficult for somebody to get in. It's kind of like locks and doors. You can put all the locks in the world on your door, and if somebody's through, they're still going to break in.
Yeah, going through the window.
So yeah, but
when you get in,
use some protection.
Make it hard for
and I think that's what that guy was alluding to right at the very end. Just use some protection.
Yeah, they should put in the condom section. Just you don't want to get hacked on your smartphone. Here's a camera condom,
especially with
camera condom,
especially with the content I heard you've got on your smartphone.
Ooh.
Hey man, speaking of smash and grabs, since you brought it up,
smash and grab, line.
Hey
grab
man,
and smash
I couldn't believe this video when I seen it, and then hey, check it out. When I come back, I want you to make a comment on what, if you want to, on what we had conversed about earlier, just prior to the show.
All right.
Did you pay for any of that?
Yep.
You did?
Yep.
You got a receipt?
Yep.
How come they were chasing you then?
They wanted the basket.
What?
They wanted the basket.
Oh, they wanted the basket.
Yeah.
Okay. Those two guys were chasing you from the store. They said you didn't pay for any of it. Why are you stealing it?
Because I'm homeless.
What?
Because I'm homeless.
For the homeless? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? You're going to eat? You got more you took in there?
How far, Noel? Far, Noel?
Give my bag, man. I don't give a damn.
I'll give you a bag, Noel.
Now even the stakes are being locked up. Michael from Holt from Florida was stunned when he noticed that the meat at his local Walmart had been locked up in what appears to be a rather dramatic attempt to prevent people from stealing it. Michael took a video of it and shared it to TikTok, where it quickly went viral. The video, which showed the Angus beef wrapped in chains with an electronic security tag, comes amid growing concern about the rising crime rates across the country. It is unclear whether or not the cages are being used in all Walmart stores across the country, or whether the company is implementing the safety measures in stores that are located in areas of high crime.
Yo, you gotta be kidding me. Walmart now has the steak locked up. Holy shit. It's come to this. This is getting bad now, man.
Come on, man. Who wants to buy incarcerated beef? And then one, hello, Tim. That guy at the beginning that stole all that stuff, he's just a thief. He stole the meat, and then he stole the bag to put the meat in.
From a homeless guy. Did you catch that?
I don't go homeless.
Yeah, he was sitting laying against the wall, and then that probably was, who knows what the hell he had in the bag, but it was important enough to him.
Man,
dude just like, psh, damn, he was like a double thief. I was tripping.
He gonna take that meat and take it back to the block and sell it for a little bit of nothing to buy him some crack.
Apparently that was a rapper, some rapper in New York that shot that.
Well, he finna go flip that meat, man. No, hey, I worked in loss prevention and asset protection. I was a manager, and we had those problems constantly. Before these prices escalated, before inflation hit, people always stole meat because meat is always high. But the finer cuts are high. And even, I ain't gonna say the finer cuts. They were stealing bacon. They were stealing sausage. They were stealing anything they didn't want to pay for. Meat is a high commodity in the hood. If you got a good price on meat, people will buy it off of you. I saw guys stuffing in their clothes and people still bought the meat.
Well, you know what is really bold is that was just the clip that was off of the rapper's phone. But there was another part, I seen another angle where that dude that was walking out with those steaks, he walked right past security, and security just kind of like looked stupid at him, like, nothing.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you what happens too, though. Back in the day, you had hands-on policy. You could actually grab people and detain them until the police officers came. It's hands off now because it's a legal issue. So the security office is there just as a preventive maintenance, just to prevent them from going in and stealing and saying, "Oh, it's security, they ain't gonna go in there and steal."
That's supposed to be
They're
some
not really there to do
psychological
anything.
shit.
Yeah, it's psychological. They're just a deterrent. They're not there to stop those guys. They got hands-off policy. Too many people have gotten hurt from LP guys, store security, or store employees trying to stop the theft, and they have gotten hurt and gotten sued. And on top of that, a lot of places you got to steal over $500, the police won't even show up. So it's just a petty theft. They will not show up unless someone really gets hurt in the process.
Well, and then when they show up, the guy's going to be back out on the street because you already got a overcrowding in the jails anyhow.
Well, I had officers that show up to my store, take the person with them because I got the merchandise back, and then they let them out around the corner because they don't want to do the paperwork. They don't want to write it up. But that's funny though. The lockdown stakes, incarcerated meat, they're still not going to stop anybody from stealing them because they can just walk right out. If they knew what I knew, security and all that crap, only police officer can stop you. If you're not a police officer, you really can't stop them. And that little thing they got on the meat, is it barbed wire or something like that? What is it?
I have no idea what that is.
Like some
That's
cheap barbed wire.
some type of, tungsten wire that you got to use. I mean, does that little thing explode, and turn your meat purple?
Yeah,
I don't know.
You're like, man, yeah,
I got purple steaks. The guy will
hilarious.
The guy will be out on the corner. Hey, man, you want a purple steak?
Right. Hey, you need to get
cheap
purple
purple steak.
They should get the ethical hacker to figure out how they're gonna prevent them from stealing meat. Because he probably hacked that up. Like, give me that meat. I can take that off without turning purple. That's the password going. It's off.
But on the real, I mean, we talked about this, about a month ago when they started that smash and grab crap, where they was doing those organized smash and grabs, like going into the high-end stores, and stealing jewelry and purses and shit like that. I mean,
I think meat is in the top 10 with smash and grabs and theft because everybody wants a good steak.
But, on the other side, like you said, Larry, hell, I mean, the inflation's at an all-time high. I mean,
we used to go to Kroger and get them right before. Say they sit out. I say about 3 days. We'll get them like the 4th day, and they'll be like half price T-bone steaks, low and rind, great pieces of meat. Put butter on them, put them in the pot, pour it over. That's all you do. And now, we get it we'll get 3 for like 15. Now half of one costs like 20, 30. Yeah, you can't afford them. It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah, yeah. Because we used to like to say we used to like to shop at Whole Foods.
Yeah.
But now we're at Save a Lot.
Yeah, you're doing your work a lot too.
And still got to work a lot to pay for Save a Lot.
Yeah, do all the work, sack stuff up, and then you still like, come on, man, really?
What do you mean I got to pay? What do I got to pay for a bag?
Right. If I see that meat guy in my neighborhood, I'm buying them steaks from him.
See,
put them in
they're
his
the people that promote boosters. Think about it.
I just want a steak.
Save a lot because you got to pay for your bags. The guy's like, no thanks, I can stuff these in my pocket. I got practice.
Hey, you know what they say? The only way you're gonna stop a drug dealer from selling drugs is stop the user. So if you stop inflation and people can buy steaks, then they'll stop him from stealing them. I guess
Unbelievable.
Everybody wants a good steak, Tim. Everybody wants a good steak.
I agree. I like I like a really good steak. You're right. A nice porterhouse.
You ain't got to do nothing to it. It's just if you cook it right, butter it, it melts in your mouth.
I think that is like
get you a good baked potato on the side.
That is my favorite cut of meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice porterhouse steak. Yeah. About.
What are your sides?
About 3/4. What? Oh, baked potato.
What about your sides?
Baked potato.
I get like a russet potato, and I might go with some broccoli with a little seasoning on it, and some little broccoli with seasoning. What you got?
Salad and baked potato.
Yeah, you can't beat a salad either. Salad is good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Anyhow, man, we just got totally off topic. We started talking about Texas beef steak.
I'm hungry.
And there ain't better steak than down in the Dallas area. Run over to Fort Worth and get it right off the train.
You go out there and just
pick out your pieces at mooing.
You catch one on the side of the road. You do all right. Somebody got a cat got hit.
I love Texas. Hey man, have you been watching the Olympics?
The Frozen Olympics?
Yeah, those.
I'm gonna tell you this now. I watched the other Olympics, and they were our country did. Women saved us.
They've been saving us. You know. Oh God, don't get me into that. I am so freaking disappointed. The reason I love the Olympics is, you know, I enjoy the figure skating's all right, as long as the short programs. I don't want to watch that and tail shit. I love, you know, the snowboarding, and then who lets us down? Shaun White. You know, he ends up fourth, completely out of the medals. You're like, go, Shaun, go. That's it. So he wipes out, right? And now look what happens. My other favorite sport is the hockey. Men out of it. They don't even get into the medal round, not even close. The women are playing for the gold medal tonight.
Let's go, ladies.
Let's go, ladies. I mean, yeah. And you think about it. You're right. In a lot of the different events, the ladies are saving our ass at the Olympics.
With the Summer Olympics, all the relays, the men's 4x1 trash. 400-meter dash, all my favorite races, the men did not fare well in them. But I like watching Olympics to see how dominant we are as a country. And we are very dominant across the board in a lot of things. But at the end of the day, Olympics, sports, the Olympics and the World Cup. Okay, let's go with the Olympics. We want to win.
Yeah.
I want us to be dominant.
Everybody wants to win. Some of them even cheat.
Yeah, they still can't beat us, but
they still,
it's getting close. It's getting tight.
Did you catch? You got the news on that Russian skater, right? She tested positive for that.
Oh, you know what?
And they still let her skate, and I'm like, I don't understand this.
Tim, I was gonna bring that up, and I forgot. I was talking to her about my wife. That's the double standard,
ain't it?
That's a double standard. Even Shakira Richardson, I think she's related to my wife's family. I was disappointed in her. But at the end of the day, whether you agree with it or not, you're still a professional athlete. Don't put yourself out there like that, especially when you're black. I hate to say that.
Is that the one with the weed?
Yeah, the one that was fast.
Right. Yeah.
For a while, a long time.
That was so disappointing.
Yeah, she was smoking weed and still that fast.
Yeah.
But like I told my wife and everybody, I said, this is America. Now, she has to compete against the Jamaicans. So this is just the prelims. It's going to get harder. But I was disappointed because she made that mistake. Regardless of whether her mother passed away, you're still an athlete. You got to move forward. And she really couldn't showcase her skills. Jamaica was going to beat her anyway. The Jamaicans are fast. Those women were very fast.
Oh, yeah. But again, you're right. There's in the past, medals have been stripped for simply raising your fist in the air.
Yeah, and that's a double standard. Is wrong.
But
did she medal?
Now you've got, she medaled. Her team medaled gold, and I think she medaled individual female.
That's not right.
And it's like, how do you do that? That's like somebody being tested for steroids and then coming and saying, well, now I'm clean. But, you're not supposed to be on, you're not supposed to smoke weed. You're not supposed to be on steroids. So, I mean, if what's good for one should obviously, as you say, be good
what's
for
good
the
for the goose is good for the gander.
Mm-hmm.
And she shouldn't have ran. Even they had that one guy that he was a transgender. Did we talk about that? Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. He ended up wrestling the women on the transgender side.
Yeah.
Okay, they let that go. I'm like, but they still didn't let this girl run because of that.
Some type of legal crap. I mean, there's so many things besides like this International Skating Federation and the International Olympic Committee and the Russian Olympic Committee. There's all these freaking committees involved, and apparently there's some type of legal junction that some judge heard and said, well, she claimed it was some type of mistake that she accidentally took it. This stuff is supposed to, enlarge your heart vessels to help you increase your blood flow.
Your blood flow, you can train harder.
Mm-hmm.
And, every professional athlete that's not professional, Arnold Schwarzenegger, who else admitted to it? Ronnie Coleman, the professional bodybuilder.
Yeah.
They all have admitted to using illegal substances while they were in their prime to win. They all have admitted it. All those athletes do it.
Well, you look at these guys. I mean,
and the board knows it. They know what they do.
What are you, blind? And these and I would say, and Ronnie is probably one of the better examples. He was cut better than Arnold.
Oh, it was incredible. It was massive.
And I mean, you could see almost every fiber of the muscle in his body, and he was just muscle on top of freaking muscle, and you're like, doesn't even seem genetically possible.
Look, it's impossible to get that big naturally.
Right.
Period.
So you knew, he's roiding.
Yeah, all of them. When he first started doing it, he wasn't doing it, but then he wasn't winning. And then the other guy said, hey, if you're going to hang with the big boys, you got to start using this. And he started using it, and then the rest is history. But all those professional athletes use it. But I think it's a political thing, because all they had to do is make the call, say Shakira, you can still run. Shakira, I forgot her name, how to pronounce her name. But on top of that, Tim, she has not been running yet. I'm still watching. I'm a track and field guy. They got the indoor races going on right now. The indoor league is going on. She is not running. She needs to run. She's not doing anything.
Well, yeah, we'll get in. That could be another conversation.
Yeah, but it's wrong.
But speaking of the Olympics, and you made the remark about the frozen Olympics. And shit ain't funny. Yeah, yes it is, as a matter of fact.
The Olympics are happening in Beijing, and it's a total dystopian nightmare. Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. Well, the 2022 Beijing Olympics are a total disaster. And it goes way beyond the record low ratings. Here are 10 ways the Beijing Winter Olympics have become a dystopian nightmare. Number 10. Let's start things off with a good visual of the games. Set the stage. Here's the slope for the freestyle skiing big air competition. Notice the cooling towers in the background? That's because the slope is in the middle of an industrial wasteland. To be fair, it's a reclaimed industrial wasteland. Shougang was a massive industrial park that was closed back in 2011, and now it's being repurposed as a tourist attraction, which is leading to a debate over whether this is inspired or dystopian. But this brings up the bigger issue of how Beijing was an odd choice for the Winter Olympics, because it has no snow. This is the first Winter Olympics that's relied entirely on fake snow. And fake snow needs water. How much water? Roughly 1 million cubic meters, enough to fill 400 Olympic-size swimming pools. And that's just to start the games. And just a reminder, you can celebrate this dystopian Olympics in style with our exclusive t-shirt, Beijing 2022, Fake Snow, Real Genocide.
That's cold, bro. Tim, that's cold.
Hey, man, that's the first thing I thought of when I turned it on and I seen the event, the jumps, and I'm like, what are those cooling towers? What's it look like they're jumping in front of a nuclear waste dump?
They need to call it the Hood Olympics, Hood Winter Olympics. That's what you do in the hood to make up some stuff. It reminds me of a basketball, a pole with just the containers you get when you get your milk from the store, them little baskets. Mm-hmm. We used to hammer that on a pole and use it for basketball. We didn't have no real basketball goal. That's just ghetto.
Isn't it?
How'd they even get that?
Well, look how much they've lost in viewers. How far was it down? I mean, you don't even have half.
43.
Almost half. And why? I mean, because shit, what's on? I mean, you can watch this cross country, the men's biathlon or whatever they call that, where they ski a couple miles and they shoot.
Oh yeah.
And but
how far are they skiing? They're skiing down the street on some fake snow around the corner 15, 20 times.
Again, if you want to watch some specific sport, well, I like to watch the women's hockey games. They're doing pretty good. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, they're going to broadcast it tonight live outside of Peacock. But Peacock,
it's going to be in the bowling alley. They're going to throw that in the bowling alley, Tim.
But I mean, it's all monetized. If you want to watch certain things, you got to go to Peacock and you got to pay a subscription fee to watch this shit.
But you know what? That's what's happening. All those big name sports that's supposed to draw all these viewers. The World Cup is going to be on there. I'm surprised. The Super Bowl is coming.
Gonna be pay per
Hey,
view.
check this. They got the versus battle now with the older artists. They battle each other. Now they got it where you got to pay a subscription to see it in HD. It's supposed to be free on Twitter. Now you got to pay to see it. You got to pay to see Ronald Isley go toe to toe with someone that's been in the music. Who else? Some other old school R&B group. You got to pay to see that. Everything is monetized. Man, it's crazy and it's trash because the Frozen Olympics are unfrozen.
No, yeah, I mean, that is the whole thing. I mean, you look at it, and everything is fake. It's all done on fake snow. And you see a lot of this, you know, if you do watch some events, you'll see like the downhill. I like to watch the giant downhill. I mean, these people going like 80 miles an hour. It's like I couldn't imagine going 80 miles an hour on 2 pairs of wood underneath my feet.
2 pairs of wood, some fake snow.
You know,
and then
like,
going down to the main highway.
You know, wouldn't that make you question your sanity? It's like,
man, you going by and saying, look, you going down like, man, you know, when I get done, I'm giving me some ramen noodles. Right there. I gotta come and go to that. You saying all the store space. Hey, come on, man. I'm trying to ski. I'm hungry.
No, I mean, you know, it's a shame because there's so many people that put their heart and soul into, like, you know, your relative training.
Yeah.
And then shit happens. Shit happens with, you know, the conditions of where you're supposed to perform. You know,
man,
look what they're giving you to perform in it. I mean, is that really the best? I mean,
and you know what? I'm looking at the medal count. The United States is far down on the medal count to win Olympics. They're they're like 3rd on the list. But I don't even think they're going to get first this year. Because you say one of your favorite guys wiped out already? Shaun White?
Oh, Shaun White. Oh, yeah. In the snowboarding. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, Shaun White's usually awesome. He just, couldn't hang with the young crowd.
And sometimes you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Yep, you heard.
Guess he went up in the air and saw those big old air things. Was like, what is, am I going to land in that?
That stuff's insane, too, that half pipe. Those guys
are
doing
if I was the
spins
president,
and twists.
I'll be embarrassed if I were the president. And now the media's put them on blast. It's got to be, it's embarrassing. And think about the revenue. They're not really putting the revenue they thought they would. They're spending all the money on water and ice. They're not really making any money.
You know what? And there's something out there about how much money cities lose in actuality by hosting the Olympics.
Yeah, because a lot of businesses can't operate like they should. It becomes a tourist attraction.
Right. I mean, you know, I don't know what's happened to Atlanta. Remember they hosted the Summer Games, and I remember some years back going past Olympic Park. I'd like to go past Olympic Park. I mean, it's hoodie.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, wow, what happened to that? This was the place, obviously, to be some years, 5 years back or whatever it was after that. And I'm like, and they say
like
the same thing.
It's like driving by South Dallas. The state fair, that's what it looks like. Hooded out.
Isn't that a sad, sad situation?
It's sad for those athletes, and they should do better. How did they even get? I was thinking, from the way I grew up, you usually have Olympics in places where you have snow. Colorado, those are major areas. You got a lot of areas where you have snow, and it'd be easier to throw it. And it's more of a tourist attraction too. It's more of a place where people come and visit and see stuff like that. You can maximize your dollars. Why would you want to go to Beijing? I'm like, Beijing's the last.
Obviously, none of the U.S. dignitaries did, because that's another
right.
one.
When El Chapo was on the run, he didn't even want to say to go to Beijing. He's like,
I want to go to
Mexico. I ready to go back to Mexico, bro. I know they down there waiting on. I'm going back to Mexico. I ready to go to the United States where they looking for me. Beijing.
Beijing. Hey, man.
Somebody had to be some money involved.
You remember some years back the Sandy Hook shooting?
Mm-hmm.
In apparently, Remington decided to pay up. And I'd like to show a little video on what is going on with Remington and the people from Sandy Hook.
It's considered one of the deadliest school shootings in US history. 20 students and 6 adults died when a gunman using a Remington AR-15 style rifle opened fire at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Connecticut in 2012. Almost a decade later, the gun company Remington Arms has been held responsible for the massacre. It's the first time a gun maker has been held responsible for a mass shooting in the United States.
And we're here because we want to make sure that another father and another mother don't have to stand here Sunday.
This case was never about damages in the sense of compensation. It was about damages in the sense of forcing change.
Remington has been ordered to pay $102 million in compensation through insurance policies to the families of 9 victims killed in the shooting, with a lawsuit focusing on Remington's marketing of assault rifles to the public.
Today marks an inflection point when our duty of care to our children as a society finally supersedes the bottom line of an industry that made such an atrocity as Sandy Hook possible to begin with.
The company has also been ordered to release all documents obtained during the lawsuit to the public, including those showing how it marketed the weapon.
The thousands of internal documents obtained in discovery for this paint a picture of a company that lost its way, choosing more aggressive marketing campaigns for profit with no thought to the impact on their intended target user, and we can't wait to share those documents.
Gun control advocates have watched the case closely, hopeful it could set a precedent for similar cases in the future. Talia Olatia, ABC News.
I found that's kind of strange to me, Tim.
Why is that?
I'm like, because how would you hold a gun company accountable for selling guns where that's what they do? And then, like, a gun is nothing without a hand on it. I'm like, a gun is useless. Gun is useless. I don't care what anybody say. Who gets killed with a gun? A gun is useless without a shooter, period. It's the shooter. It ain't the gun. Because there are a lot of people with guns that don't go to schools and kill kids and teachers and stuff like that. So it's a guns company responsibility to sell guns. AR-15s to the public, I don't know. They sell guns, so that's what they do. They want to stay in business.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get it.
I understand the motivation behind the people that put forward the suit, that they're advertising and promotion, may have incited violence in a person by the way they portrayed the weapon. And that, I think that was where they took issue. And you have a very valid point. It's the person behind the gun. And, it'll be interesting to see, because what was this other dude that just got off, we talked about him too, that had the AR-15, he shot like 3 people up.
With the riot, not the riot, but the protest?
Yeah, remember?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So it'll be interesting to see even where that one goes then afterwards. The victims of that this shook down.
I'm just saying, man, I know a lot of, when I was in the military, I had this female I know, we were real cool. She had a little son, a little bitty boy. He was about 4. And he was over with his father and got a hold to his father's gun and shot himself in his stomach, playing with his father's gun. Okay. And that's a 4-year-old, 5-year-old, or whatever. Now, the gun should not have been
negligence.
The kid shot him. Yeah, that's negligence with the parents. But I don't know where he got the gun for his negligence. But at the end of the day, it goes to show you that it doesn't matter who has a gun. If a gun's in someone's hands, they can use it towards themselves or someone else. But the gun is useless without a shooter. If a kid can do it, then anybody can do it. So how you going to hold the company that sells them accountable when that's their job to sell guns?
Gun control is going to be a very interesting issue, and how they, because Remington moved their operations down to Texas.
Yeah, because Texas, they like, get you a gun.
Yeah. They were in, I'm sorry, not Texas, Georgia.
Why Georgia? Well, Texas is already gun heavy.
Yeah. Georgia's light. I mean, Georgia's in the South. They're more, lenient towards let's carry guns. And
I think people should have guns. I think people should have guns to collect them, to enjoy shooting them, hunt with them, for home protection. Guns are necessary.
I just have a problem with assault rifles. Why do you need an assault rifle when you're Joe Blow, ordinary citizen, rather?
One of you collect guns though. One of you a gun collector. Because at one time I was gonna collect guns, and I would have loved to have like a good gun collection, you know. And I don't know if I would have shot it constantly. I'm not gonna go on a rant and
I
go
think there's
blast up
plenty
people.
of other guns out there for you to collect. You know, go get a rhino or elephant gun if something that big and powerful is important to you.
Yeah, some people. Well, I had one in the military, so I shot one in the military constantly. So I got my shooting out
You
the way.
got your kicks on Route 66.
Yes, yeah, sharpshooter. But at the end of the day, I think guns are, and a gun in the hand of the right person is a useful tool.
Yeah, but
Very
who's to
useful
decide
tool.
who's the right person?
We can't decide that. You know, if you can buy a gun, you can buy a gun. It's what I think is the right to bear arms. I think what amendment is that? Fourth Amendment? No, which one is that?
But whatever.
It's
You
our
know, I think there
constitutional
should
right
be.
to buy.
I think there should be more of a
That constitutional right.
I think there should be more of a cooling down period. I think that, you know, if you've got a past history of violence, whether it be domestic and or against somebody else, yeah, you don't need to own a gun.
Well, what if you violent? Period. What if you just angry?
You know, well,
I've seen white collar guys just
now
snap.
who's to sit there and say, okay, now I'm going to do a psychological profile on you, Larry, because you may be freaking angry, to decide whether you can or can't get a gun.
I probably won't get
But
one,
you've got no arrest history to prove that. How am I going to prove that?
Yeah, you can't psychological give.
Like I said, I would base it on your criminal history. You know, if you've got a criminal history that has violence associated with it, you don't need a gun.
But those kids didn't have criminal histories. I don't think.
I understand
both
that.
those kids. Yeah,
Well,
so how
you're not going to be able to stop it all. And you do, as you say it in the Constitution, we have the right to bear arms. But be freaking reasonable.
Yeah, kids should not have guns. I was a kid when I was in the military, but I was in the military, so I had a purpose, I had a reason.
You was a military brat?
Those guns on the street, we don't need them. You know, police officers may need them. And they need to know how to use them and when to use them. But in the hands of a kid or a cult leader or an angry person, dangerous. A slingshot in the hands of an angry person is dangerous. Imagine a gun.
You know, it's a bad situation when, you've got a person with a mental issue and, they've got their gun against somebody's head. And
Tim, there's got to be 75% of all Americans with mental issues. What we're going through, everybody's crazy right now.
And it's like, how did he get his hands on that? That was one of my first questions after encountering that particular situation. Is how this motherfucker, excuse me, get his hands on it, and then he's got his mama and got a gun up, and I'm like, wow, this is just okay.
Yeah, I'm like, they never said he stole the gun. They never said he purchased the gun. So the gun was given to him, and that means it was a more of a scheme to it. They never dug deeper. I think they never dug deeper. I think there are more people involved in the whole thing, on both of them, both sides. So.
Hey, man, I got to come to one of your favorite parts of the show. And that would be, boom, who is our asshole of the week? So, just because, there's always a huge debate on masking, we're going to see what one of the senators thinks we should do about it.
I'm all for it. Civil disobedience. Civil disobedience is a time-honored tradition in our country, from slavery to civil rights to you name it. Peaceful protest, clog things up, make people think about the mandates. And some of this we started. We put mandates on truckers coming across the border from Canada, so then they put mandates on, and the truckers are annoyed. They're riding in a cab by themselves, most of them, for 8-10 hour long hauls, and they just want to do what they want to do. It's their own business. And it's the way healthcare used to be. It used to be your own business, what you and your doctor talked about or what medications you took. It wasn't anybody else's business.
And do you foresee that D.C. would react in a certain way if such a convoy came here?
It'd be great, but the thing is, it wouldn't shut the city down because the government workers haven't come to work in 2 years anyway. So I don't know if it'll affect DC. It'd be a nice change. We'd actually have some traffic. So not only the government workers don't come to work in DC, neither are the tourists allowed. I mean, Nancy Pelosi closed the Capitol down 2 years ago for God knows what reason. And, you walk in there, and I'll give people a tour on occasion. We're the only people in the Capitol. I mean, it's kind of crazy. But I hope the truckers do come to America. I hope they clog up cities.
Did he say civil disobedience has been here, slavery, peaceful protest?
Man, that's what he called. That's what he called January 8th too. Peaceful protest.
The insurrection.
Yeah, damn balls of freaking. I can't. And then. Why would you sit there and say, I hope they do come and clog up cities? Do you realize how much that cost? That little bit of civil disobedience cost, they're in the millions. And not only is it affecting, you not wanting or whatever to wear a frickin' mask, now people that should be going to work, auto worker, whatever the case is in the Detroit area, I can't go to work because there's no parts because these morons are, and it wasn't a conglomerative group of people, because they said, like, what is it? The president of the union for Canadian truckers said 95% of their drivers are vaccinated, so they don't give a shit.
That dude's an asshole, man.
So it's like, who are these, people making up this mess? And then unfortunately, or fortunately, who knows, you see them waving, Canadian flags, American flags, and Trump. And I'm like, how did all that get associated into it too?
That dude's in everybody's shit. I'm waiting to see him on a little baby video. Kanye West gonna put him on a video soon.
But and yeah, the whole thing is, it should be confidential. If I want to wear a mask, if I want to get a shot, whatever I want to do, I should be able to do, because who cares about anybody but me? Attitude is bullshit.
That dude's attitude is horrible. Civil disobedience. Then he said the government workers haven't come to work in 2 years anyway.
As I said, just be respectful. If a mask is required, I mean, how inconvenient can that be to have a mask on for, an hour or so when you're doing your business in a store or in the restaurant, whatever the case may be, whatever the requirements of that particular metropolitan area may be. And
just go
with it.
If it's their company,
there's a reason. There's a reason.
Yeah, if it's not your house and you go somewhere, you should be respectful, like you say, put a mask. If someone say, could you please put a mask on? Or could you please take your shoes off? You got two options. You say, no, I'm not taking my shoes off, so I'm not coming here. No, I'm not putting my mask on, so I'm not coming in here. That's pretty much it.
Well, what are you gonna think if you have company over and say, could you please take your shoes off? And they're like, no.
Yeah, I'm like, this fuck out my house.
So
no, I know some people I don't know. They even they have white carpet. And I'm like, white carpet. Then I see shoes, I'm like, man, you should never got white carpet, but they got the carpet, so they want to preserve their carpet. I respect that.
I respect that totally. Yeah, I've been in the homes where they have right in the foyer area, they have a big area. Take your damn shoes off. If you need slippers, here's a pair of slippers, but I mean, walk around in your socks like everybody else.
Yeah, she'll put a pair. If she's wearing regular shoes and without socks, she'll put a pair of socks on. If they answer they got a pair of socks, she'll take them off. So we'll do that. And I don't mind taking my shoes off. I wear clean socks.
Well, some of the other people around you may mind, Larry, but that's.
Well, I'm just saying my feet don't stink. You know what I'm
they
saying?
don't. All right.
No.
You taking care of that?
Yeah. Now, when I'm doing my work, yeah, I might keep those boots separate from my regular stuff, but my feet don't stink.
But no, you're right. It's what's the analogy is exactly the same. You go into somebody else's home, treat it with respect. Abide by their rules and their regulations, and if you don't like it, well then
leave.
Yeah, doesn't it seem simple enough? Yeah, but some of these people like ranting off like that and then saying, do what you want, and I hope that the truckers do this. What kind of and he's in there making policies. You know, what kind of an individual thinks that way?
Well, he's almost just as worse as the guy that said Americans than black people. So,
Mitch
yes,
McConnell.
but those are the guys we got running our country. We don't have any real guys, real players, real men. We got their friends, these synthetic guys that rub each other's elbows and kiss each other's asses, and they stick together just so they can have a job and maintain their power.
You know, and there's something, and I'm not in. You know, and I'm not a huge fan of, Biden sitting back and doing nothing with Russia. I would have, already sent him a piece of paper saying, here's exactly what the heck we're going to do to your ruble once you invade Ukraine. I'll destroy your money. I'll cut off your oil supply.
I think since it's not us, he don't even want to get involved in it, really.
Yeah, but
had it been us, I bet he would have said something a long time ago. But since it's not us, he probably is like, "Hey, that's not really our shit."
I don't know about the setting back stuff and not doing this, blowing smoke. Put it to me in writing, and now I know why you're serious.
I think the government is changing. I think they're trying to restructure and find different allies. I think that the smaller people in the government, the smaller countries that are associated with the big-time politicians, the superpowers, they're going to get squeezed out or be forced to merge with bigger countries, and they're going to take their resources, take their money. So at the end of the day, somebody's going to be merging with somebody, regardless whether he does anything over there or not.
Well, you got to protect each other's six.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, hey, and then, one hand washes the other. And that's how they form these alliances. And, unfortunately, some, when they wanted to get away and try it another way, that's what, that's all about. Putin doesn't like that. That happened years ago. He wants it back.
Something happened, man. I guarantee you, somewhere down the line, Ukraine, am I correct?
Yeah.
They probably had some alliance with us or someone, and something happened. Now, because the United States not really getting involved, it must not be nothing in it for the United States.
Well, they're a split country, apparently. They've got, Western ideologies, and, then they still have, the steadfast Soviets in the east side. The west side's, kind of, more of a progressive type attitude, and you get to the east side, and that's more of the Soviet type. We're used to, being told what to do. I'm not 100 on it, so... Otherwise, I'd be over there trying to figure shit out. I'd help you out.
Yeah, I think he just don't want to get involved because there's nothing in it for us. There's no leverage. There's no
end game, so to speak.
No end game, no power he can achieve by being involved in it. So he's just actually creating another war, another enemy, because I've seen it when we're aggressive and getting involved, that means that it's something we can get out of it. Our country, what I've seen over the years.
Well, aside from like Nam.
Yeah, well,
I still don't understand that one, but anyhow.
Yeah.
Let me pop you in here real quick, Larry. We're about to finish this up, and as in every show, Larry loves to give us a fitness tip and tell us how we can follow you.
You can follow me on Facebook at LRE Fitness, and you can also follow me on LinkedIn, Larry Estelle, and on Instagram at LRE Fitness and Larry Estelle Jr. My tip for this week is, Tim kind of touched on it last week, stretching. Stretching is different. It varies pertaining to the exercises you're going to do. If you're doing fast and hard running, sprinting, you always want to make sure you stretch 5 to 10 minutes. And usually you do like stretches that kind of pertain to the running you're going to do. Like you may do hurdle stretches, or you might run in place a little bit, or high knee skips. It's simulating what you're going to do when you run. And even if you're just going to go for a brisk walk, a little stretching will do you just fine for that. Nothing heavy, just basic toe touches, maybe individual switch leg, quadricep pullbacks. So stretching is very key and very important when you exercise, especially if you're doing exercises with heavy explosion and high rates of speed. So remember, America, stretch. You don't have to stretch a lot, but you have to stretch at least 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the exercises and the training that you're going to do. That's my tip this week. LRE Fitness Solutions. We keep you moving.
All right. Anyhow, I'm Tim McGiffin. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all the social media sites. Just simply Google me. I'm Googleable all over the place. I don't know, Larry, if that's a good thing and or a bad thing.
Well, it's good if you got your business straight. If you got your credit straight and you ain't owe no child support, and you know, like in the cartel, like El Chapo. I just finished watching that series. It's incredible.
Note to self.
Google.
Legal name change.
I need to get my Google up. I'm working on some more things this year.
Legal
So I always, well, actually, I got some stuff coming. So I ain't gonna say coming. This year, I got to edit it.
Got to edit it.
Yeah, got some videos I'm working on. I got to edit it. You know, got to find somebody I trust and edit it with them. I need to buy the program myself and edit it myself.
Is that your exercise?
Huh?
Is that your exercise videos?
Yeah, I got some videos I do when I go to the gym. Just how can I say it?
So like where you like drop the weight on your toe or something? Yeah,
well, I got a lot of ideas I have, but you know, like I'm a family man, and you know, I still work during the day. So, and then it's not enough time in the day.
Never is.
Just get it. It's yeah.
There never is. So let's.
I got to take a test. I got to take a test tonight. Once I get off the podcast, I got to take a test. You know, so it's not enough time.
Well, I hope you pee all right.
Pee?
Hope it. Oh, it wasn't a pee test. Oh, no. You're like a written test. My bad.
Well, I passed my pee test. I made a 70 on it. I
Good for you, man.
I passed it. Those 70.
Excellent. Hey, man. Until next week, Larry.